So here's a question for you. Here's one that I saw on the interweb, as they say, yesterday. And they were like, would you kill for your children? I thought this was a really odd question, to be honest. Like, why are we even bothering to ask it? And the amount of people who were interviewed on this, like, oh, I don't know. That's breaking the law. Defending, I would defend my children, but I don't know if I'd break the law for them. And I found this such an interesting commentary on where we are in society and where we view these kinds of things. Because my answer is an unequivocally yes. If you are deliberately endangering my children, there is nothing that I wouldn't do. Yes, I would end your life. Unquestionably would I end your life if you threatened the lives of my children. I would be, John Wick on your ass. Taken on your ass. There is nothing I wouldn't do to protect my children, including murder. To be honest, you wouldn't even know. The body would just disappear. If you threatened the lives of my children, no one would ever know because you would just disappear off the face of the planet. But as I said, all these people were like, oh, I don't know, and they got really timid about it. And I was like, I actually believe you. It's not that you're on camera and you're worried about saying it. It's the fact that I don't think you have what it takes to step up, to be the man, to do what has to be done to protect your family. I don't care what jurisdiction it falls under. I would protect my family and my children at any means necessary, no matter the consequences. I will protect my family. And I feel like this is honestly the level that we have to be at men. You should never want to use it. You should never want to use violence or any form of this. But you should have the willingness and the capacity to do so. That if you needed to protect your family, they knew 100%, without question, that you would be there and you would do whatever it took. And it brings me back to that other question of, people have this thing and they're like, I would die for my kids. Cool. That's really awesome. I am glad that you would. But that is one small moment of courage. But would you live for your children? Would you live? Would you be the best version of yourself for your children? Would you do whatever it takes to be there for as long as humanly possible, in the best format humanly possible, to lead by example, to inspire them, to be the best version of yourself for your kids? Because that's much harder. It is a noble gesture to say that you would die for your children. But I think it is a much greater and important one to say that you will live for them. That you will be the best version. That you will sacrifice the things that do not matter to be the best father that you can be. And that's a hell of a large portion of what 126 to Greatness is built on. It is built on this concept that you will do whatever is required to be the best version of yourself for them. And that means in all areas, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And all of it starts with the body. All of it does. I've said it many times that the point of 126 isn't the physical component. It isn't just working out and having a great physique. That is a big part of it, but more of this is the mental side of this. It's about how you show up as a man. And the physical training is just the tool. It is the tool to teach you how to keep your word, how to do the work, how to be the best version of yourself, how to do hard shit every single day, how to build mental fortitude and discipline. And it's a very effective but simplistic way to teach your children to do the same. to teach them that health and fitness shouldn't be a difficult thing, or B, a would be nice thing. It's just a stock standard part of our world. It should just be part of our world. That, especially if you have daughters, but also as if you have sons, because as I've said many times before, the bar is on the fucking floor when it comes to, what is difficult these days. But we should do something. We should set the standard higher for our children. And it should just be that exercising daily, eating good food, drinking water, making the right choices is just how we live our life. It shouldn't be seen as this extreme alternative to when I hate my body, though often that is a catalyst, but it's something that I feel if we can embody for our children now, they never have to learn that or unlearn those things. They just know. They just live life the right way. They just do the right things. And this is the kind of thing this is the part of it. When I say lead by example, I still have body image issues. And sometimes that is good because it's driven me and forced me to do the things that have to have been done. But I'm hoping that I can just impart this onto my children so that they never have to learn that lesson. And it's the same for my wife. She has the same thing. I'm hoping that I can just teach my daughter these things, that she can just learn to love herself, but also that she never has to get to that stage of hating herself, because exercise is just the norm. We never have to teach her that she has to do exercise. We never have to teach her to eat good food. We never have to teach these things as a post-requisite of where we've already gotten, that it's just who she is, because she's seen her mum and her dad embody it for her entire life. That she's just grown up thinking that's just what people do. They work out every day. They choose to do the right things. They look after themselves. They look after their bodies and their minds. And they do difficult things for the sake of doing difficult things. They take on challenges because it's where you derive satisfaction from, is from taking on challenges and conquering them. We take on impossible tasks, knowing that we might not succeed, but we show up every single day in pursuit of them. Because this is how we get better. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. This is how we lead a fulfilling and satisfactory life. It's how we chase happiness. That we don't chase happiness through dopamine chasing in short-term instant gratification in the form of TV, of social media, of junk food, of alcohol, of drugs. We learn that these things are sometimes things, that we occasionally do that, but the true happiness and satisfaction of life comes from doing difficult things, from overcoming challenges in our life and doing the work. If you can embody that throughout their entire life, you can teach them these lessons through their entire life. Imagine the power that they have, that they don't ever have to learn these things in their 30s or their 40s or their 50s or never. They just grow up expecting that, accepting that that is the norm. Imagine the power in being that kid, that's just what you think the world is. That you think the world is that you just do the right thing, that you work hard in the pursuit of something great, that you work hard in doing great things, and that hard work is its own payoff, and that you take enjoyment in it, and that it's not challenging in that same capacity that so many adults hate it. They just enjoy it because it's about putting in effort, and there is satisfaction in effort. I think that's one of the most incredible gifts you could give your children. So it's when I say, I mean it when I'm like, would you live for your children? Would you sacrifice all those insignificant little things, the dopamine chasing, the junk food, the social media, the TV, the drugs, the porn, the any form of simple dopamine junk food, whatever it may be, for this higher pursuit to lead truly by example for your children? Would you put it all out there and help them become the best versions of themselves? I don't think that's a sacrifice at all. It's not a sacrifice on your behalf, because the ROI on that, the return on investment, is so massive. That is the greatest thing that you could ever give your children. There is nothing greater in this life than doing that for your kids. And I truly mean that when I say there is nothing greater than doing that for your children. Because the gift you will give them is beyond measure. And I mean it when I say I think my kids are going to rule the fucking world. You know, and of course I'm biased. I'm absolutely biased. But my daughter is beautiful. She's funny. She's intelligent beyond belief. And she's going to grow up seeing her father with a work ethic, learning that working in pursuit of something bigger than yourself is just the best way to live a life. It isn't punishment, it is reward. That working out hard, pushing yourself, challenging yourself, finding something to pursue is the greatest reward that you can give yourself. And she's going to go out there with empathy and intelligence and passion and a work ethic and an understanding of how to take on the world. And in this world of snowflakes where everything should just be handed to you, where none of them know how to work hard at anything, they just expect everything to be handed to them on a silver plate, kids who actually show up and do the work are going to change the world. They're the ones who are going to take it. The bar is on the floor. And as I said, it's the same with, exercise. If you work out 3 times a week, you're already considered amazing, that you're doing an incredible job. What about children who grow up thinking that exercising every day, that eating good food and fueling their body to the highest order is not something outside of the norm? It is the norm. That's just what we do. Those kids are going to change the world. So I think it's time to think about that. I think it's time to start thinking about living for your children and living your best life and sacrificing all those cheap dopamine chasing things that you were doing, and choose to be the best version. So that's all I have for you. And as always, standard platitudes. If you enjoyed it, if I blew your mind, if I dropped some nuggets, if I shared some wisdom, please like, comment, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast. Let me know that I'm providing something that you enjoy so I can continue to do so. And if you're ready to go all in, to burn the motherfucking boats, to see what you're truly capable of, shoot me a message and let's throw you in the deep end and see what you're capable of. Until then.